the fact that spring has sprung, and I want to share with you 7 savvy suggestions really to help you really spring into action and make some changes this spring. So some savvy habits that will really change the way you look and feel. Spring is that time of year where, things are greener, and we think about spring cleaning. We think about spring cleaning the house, clearing the junk out of the garage and all of these sorts of things. But have you thought about spring cleaning the junk out of your system, out of your body? It's such a good time of year to consider doing a detox or just starting some new habits to help you to clear out the rubbish that winter can create for us. So obviously here in this particular region of the world that I'm coming to you from, we've just entered into spring. If you happen to be coming to us from another, I'm coming to you to another part of the world. That is probably not spring there, but nevertheless, it's always a good time to look for options to detoxify your system. And that's really some of the things that I'd like to share with you in this particular session. So, it's an interesting thing when you think about detox, and many people sort of think, okay, well, am I really toxic? What's this all about? Surely there's nothing that could be going on for me. Well, let me just share with you some symptoms of body toxicity, just in case you may relate to them. All of these symptoms right here are linked to body toxicity. So rashes and skin problems, sleep disturbances, insomnia, digestive disturbances, bloating, gas, diarrhea, and constipation, all these abdominal discomforts, etc. Even liver and gallbladder problems, IBS. What about joint pain and sinusitis and brain fog and blurry vision, anxiety, irritability, and even hormonal changes? And that's why we have this funny cartoon, Mr. and Mrs. Motor Vehicle here, where Mrs. Motor Vehicle says, for Pete's sake, Robert, it's about time you saw a mechanic about those emissions of yours. So if you have some emissions coming out of you since winter, then a detox could be a really good idea, or at least following these 7 savvy habits that I wanted to introduce you to. So it can really change the way you look and feel. You may be like this, like, hey girl, you look so beautiful since that savvy detox. Certainly, many people who go through a detox do find that their skin is more vibrant. They just feel clearer, and they just feel better, and they look better, and people do start to notice their appearance. And yes, it can even help you get your mojo back. So if you feel like you've lost your mojo over wintertime, then doing a bit of a detox or following these steps could maybe help you get it back. Does that sound groovy? I hope it sounds groovy to you. So what are these 7 steps that can really, these 7 habits that can help you spring into action this spring? So new habits here, 7 habits that you could start this spring. Number one, drink some more water. I don't want to sound like a nagging parent or spouse or whatever, but the chances are pretty high that you're probably not drinking enough water. Now, I know some of you are really, really good at getting the water in, and let us know if you happen to be catching this live, then drop me a wave so I can see that you're here. If you're catching the replay, then we'd love to know as well too. But drink some more water. Do you have strategies to make sure that the water is there ready for you to drink more? So, we've often got into the habit over the winter period of not drinking as much water, drinking more of the warmer things and tea and coffee and all these sorts of things. And we actually need water to flush our systems out. Around 60% of our body is made up of water. So drinking plenty of water is such an important step. If you struggle with drinking water because of taste or whatever, then having a squeeze of lemon in it or something to change the flavor can help. It also helps with the uptake of the water as well. So, for example, some lemon juice in water, a little bit of warm water, for example, a good glass of water with a bit of hot water, or lemon in it, first thing in the morning, can be very detoxifying, kickstart the liver, help to alkalize the system, and lots of benefits there. So drink more water. Find ways of drinking more water. It certainly helps to optimize the detox pathway of the kidneys. Number 2 in these habits to start this spring is to get your greens. It's also very easy during the winter period to end up with more cooked and stodgy and sort of warming food and less of the greens that we need for all of the natural minerals, over the magnesium and the potassium rich greens that we often tend to eat by way of salads and everything in the summer period. So really start to get the greens into you. This will also help to alkalize you, provide you with many nutrients as well. So when we think about it, spring is when we start to see the green appearing in the environment. We see new shoots and the grass starts growing more and everything. And it's a little bit of a hint for us to get some more greens into us. And so take the hint. If you're not very good at getting greens into you, then a green superfood blend is a really, really great way to get those extra greens into you. So reach out to us if you want our recommendations. We can give you a discount code for that. So green also here, when we're talking about getting into the green there, if you're following the Eat Savvy diet, and if you're not, then look up on the blog the 12 steps for getting started on the Eat Savvy diet and download the free cheat sheet that we have there, and aim as a little bit of a getting started in spring to eat more into the green area of the Eat Savvy diet. The Eat Savvy diet is somewhat of a sliding scale to really help you to find the most nutritious foods and the foods that are, the lowest in toxin overload, to really help to optimize your system at this particular time of year. So really look for the Eat Savvy diet, and I'll just see whether I can find you what to show you what I mean by eating in the green. Maybe I don't have anything here for you. Here we go. So if you've not downloaded the Eat Savvy diet, then what we mean here is that it's a sliding scale. It's a bit of a spectrum here. So, often in winter time, we can allow ourselves to slide down to the food choices that are technically best for us to avoid. The stodgy, carbohydrate-rich foods, and sometimes a lot of the packaged foods and everything, the warming foods, the things that keep us happy. And yet, if you're looking to detoxify your system, feel a lot better, improve your energy levels, you're going to want to move more towards the top end of the spectrum in the sliding scale. So green doesn't just stand for getting more greens in your diet. It also stands for looking to eat more in the green, okay, of the Eat Savvy diet. So take a look at the Eat Savvy diet and practice eating in the green. So that was number 2. And number 3 is to get outside. It's just such a good opportunity to start getting outside. Now, I know it's still cool in some parts of the world when we enter into spring, but, often one of the downsides is that we can be, the indoor environment can be very toxic. And during winter with heated and closed up houses and everything, toxins can actually build up in there. We did a free class, or I think we included it as part of our Healthy, Wealthy, Wise show, about the sneaky ways indoor air pollution can get to us. So look out for that. But, it's a time to start opening the doors up and letting everything out of the house, getting fresh air in, and you getting outside too. So more fresh air and also some sunshine, some healthy, safe sunlight exposure. In many parts of the world, people become very deficient in vitamin D during the winter time. So it's such a good way to optimize your system to get out, get some fresh air, get moving, and get some safe sunlight exposure. Now, if obviously you don't want to get burnt and all that something, that wouldn't be sensible, would it? But if you want some help there, we recommend the DMinder app. It's available on all platforms, and it just helps you to track the sunlight exposure for your region, okay? And make sure you're not not overdoing it. So that's number 3, get outside. Now, number 4 is sweat. It's a good time to start sweating. Your skin is your largest detoxifying pathway of the body. And so sweat allows your body to carry out the toxins. And a lot of the times our skin can be blocked by what we put on it. So obviously getting rid of any chemicals and things that clog the skin would be a wise idea too. But really learning to sweat out those toxins. Now, some people sort of say, oh, come on, really? Does it really make that much difference? Well, obviously just a little bit doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but doing a sauna, even having a hot bath with Epsom salts, for example, doing some high intensity exercise to really really open up the sweat glands certainly can make a huge difference. And many people sort of think, oh, it really surely can't make that much difference to sweat. Well, actually, if you are suffering from different challenges and toxicity in the body, you can really sweat out some toxins. So this is something that we cover in our detox masterclass, where we talk about the power of optimizing the skin as a detox pathway. And a particular program that the firefighters from, that were in New York that were exposed to the 9/11 disaster, a lot of them were experiencing, for example, even Parkinson's-like tremors. And they were believed even being diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. And it turned out that really they just had heavy metal poisoning. They had a buildup of manganese in the system, and this was creating the same symptoms as these tremors. And so when going through a sauna detox protocol, they actually saw the color, the actual purpley color coming out on the towels, indicating that it was definitely working, that the skin is certainly a detox organ. So sweat some. Number 5 is to breathe deeper. We can get into the habit of just breathing fairly shallow and learn to open up your lungs and breathe deeper. The lungs are another detoxifying organ of the body. So obviously things such as high intensity interval training, high intensity exercise gets you puffing and opens up the airways. And so breathing is a very good helper this spring to help you to start getting more fresh air in and getting the toxins out. Especially think of doing it if you find yourself sort of feeling closed in and sort of and breathe. If you notice yourself feeling stressed and shallow breathing and everything, just consciously take the time to actually do some more deep breathing. Okay, it really, really can help you to feel better this spring. So number 6 is take some time out. Even just 5 minutes of downtime can really make the difference. And even, sometimes we can find ourselves getting really wide and just push, and just a bit of downtime and consciously taking time out to breathe and relax and acknowledge what's going on around you and enjoy nature or spend time with people. Do these sorts of things that are fun can really make a difference to drop those cortisol levels and get you out of the fight or flight response and really help to activate more of the rest and recovery centers in your body, more of that part of your nervous system. So number 6, take some time out. Number 7 would be practice some gratitude and appreciation. As we're getting rid of the old and making way for the new this spring, and it's a time of transition, then think about eliminating some of the old habitual rut-like habits of thinking as well. Okay, so and sometimes we can't, a lot of the times we think about clearing out the junk. Like when you're clearing out the garage, doing a spring cleaning, you're clearing out junk. You get the junk and you get rid of it. And we can think, and many people do advise this too, that when you're clearing out mental junk, you find the junk and you clear it out. I really believe that in that sort of case, the more you go hunting for the junk, the mental junk, to try to find it and clear it out and find the, where it all happened and everything, the more you're just activating that. So what you really need to do is practice the principle of gratitude and appreciation. Look for the things in your life that are working, the things that you want to bring more of into your life, and sort of deactivate the old. So this is where it's a bit different. Rather than actually grabbing it and cleaning out those old behaviors, just sort of let them go dormant by looking at the new growth that you can trigger this spring. What new beliefs would you like to start upon? What new things in your life would you like to bring forward? Focus more on them and let the old stuff sort of just die off and become dead wood, deactivated and all that sort of thing. So there's 7 healthy habits, savvy habits that you can start this spring. And look, if you are looking for a program to really support you in doing a detox, helping you reach that next level of wellness, then then consider the detox program that we have, where it's really just focused on helping you to follow the Eat Savvy approach, eat in the green, and then we use some targeted nutritional supplements to optimize your 7 detoxification pathways. We find people just have astounding results. They experience more energy, clearer skin, get rid of foggy thinking, and just tend to feel better. And people start to notice, the people around them really do start to notice. So you might consider a detox. We also have a range of weight loss programs if you're wanting to shed some of that winter weight that seemed to have found you over winter and start to prep for the bikini body, shall we say. We're here to help as well. So look, I just hope that you can put these points into practice and spring into some new habits this spring. So if there's anything we can do to help you with instigating the new habits, then don't hesitate to ask. Just reach out to us. So that's Corey Sievers here, encouraging you to be savvy with these habits this spring. All the best. Look forward to catching up with you again sometime soon.